One of the questions that people are asking after the election is, what now? Where are we going as a country? What's the government going to do? Well, Marc Kealey is a big shot Liberal. He's still smiling from the election a few nights ago. And I put the question to you. What can Canadians expect from the Carney government in the near future, in the next few months?
Yeah, you're going to see a 180-degree change from what had been, realized over the last 9.5 years. First of all, if you heard his speech on election night, he was very, very clear. We have issues with the West, and we got to deal with the West. And then it just right after.
You mean Western Canada?
Western Canada. And it was very obvious that Premier Smith had made it very clear that she wants to give him a very stern message about Western alienation. Scott Moe did the same thing just after the election. So I think he realizes that, and he said that last night when he was on election night when he was talking about what we need to do with Western Canada. So I think you're going to see some rapprochement with Western Canada, and that could be in the way we manage. I don't know whether it's pipelines.
Pipelines or oil and gas.
Right,
exports.
And it's interesting because I think this guy's smart enough to say you can't have it both ways, Premier. You can't talk about what you want for your own province, and then if I say I want eminent domain on a pipeline, and then all of a sudden you're going to snipe at me. So I think you're going to see a smarter and a more knowledgeable sort of global and frankly a national thinker as it relates to Canada in its role, in its traditional role in the G7.
Is the Prime Minister going to abandon his dogma of carbon taxes and put out in his book of years ago for this new Canada to deal with the West and to deal with a very hungry nation?
I think one of the things that people don't know about Mark Carney is that he's a listener, and he really is a listener. And I think he's got the added benefit of having a very large cadre of people from Bay Street, from corporate Canada, and frankly the first ministers who are going to say, "Listen, Prime Minister, we got to talk and we got to act together," and I think he's prepared to do that. You're going to see a very different style of government with this guy.
Is he more collegial than top down, one person in the PMO?
Well, I think, and that's the other thing too. I think you're going to see that he knows that I can't be like the 9.5 years we had in that PMO that were putting the screws on everybody. So he knows. Look, there was an outright repudiation from the party. I have to cater to the needs of the party. I've got to cater to the needs of the people of this country who put me in this position, and you watch how this works.
Will the average person in Canada notice a difference in their pocketbook or in their own personal home economies?
I think he's going to try really hard to make that a priority.
Okay, 3 minutes. We're going to be waiting for that. Thank you. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.